Before you decide how you feel about this war, watch this video, because there are 5 facts about Iran that most people watching the news right now have never been taught. Not opinions, not politics, facts, verified history, and they will completely change the picture. Fact 1. Iran is one of Earth's oldest civilizations. Here is the fact that reframes everything. The country the world is currently bombing has been a continuous civilization for over 3,000 years. Iran, ancient Persia, is not a modern Middle Eastern state created by colonial borders. It is one of the oldest, most continuously inhabited civilizations on the planet. The Persian Empire, founded by Cyrus the Great in 550 BCE, was the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen. According to the Lumen Learning World Civilizations curriculum, at its height around 475 BCE, the Achaemenid Persian Empire ruled over 44% of the world's entire population, the highest proportion for any empire in all of recorded history. More than Rome? More than the Mongols? More than the British Empire. Cyrus the Great, the founder, is in the Hebrew Bible as a liberator. He freed the Jewish people from Babylonian captivity and sent them home to Jerusalem. His Declaration of Rights, inscribed on a clay cylinder now housed in the British Museum, is considered by many historians to be the world's first human rights charter. Thomas Jefferson owned 2 copies of a biography of Cyrus the Great. He cited Persian governance as an influence on American democracy. That is the country being bombed, a 3,000-year civilization, the cradle of one of history's greatest empires, and most people watching the news have no idea. Fact 2. Iran had a democracy, and the West destroyed it. In 1951, Iran's parliament elected Mohammad Mossadegh as prime minister. He was Time magazine's Person of the Year in 1951. His platform was democratic and straightforward. Iran's oil, controlled by the British Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, should belong to the Iranian people. He nationalized it. 2 years later, in 1953, the CIA and British intelligence ran Operation Ajax and overthrew him in a coup. He spent the rest of his life under house arrest. The Shah was put back in power. He ran a brutal secret police called Savak. When the revolution came in 1979 and Iranians stormed the American embassy, they were not acting randomly. They were acting with 26 years of accumulated fury at a government America had installed and maintained by force. This is not ancient history. This is the direct origin of every hostile act between Iran and the United States that followed. Fact 3. Iran's population is overwhelmingly young, and a significant portion is culturally pro-Western. The median age in Iran is around 32. Over 60% of the population is under 35. Many young Iranians have grown up with VPNs, accessing Instagram, watching Hollywood films, following Western fashion. Multiple surveys, including polling by the University of Maryland, found that large proportions of young Iranians want normalized relations with the West. The government and the people of Iran are not the same thing. They rarely are. Fact 4. And here's the rabbit hole. Iran invented things you use every single day, and almost no one in the West knows this. The windmill. The earliest known vertical axis windmills were developed in the Sistan region of Persia in the 7th century CE algebra. The word itself comes from the Arabic title of a 9th century mathematical text written by the Persian scholar Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. The word algorithm comes from his name. Hospitals as institutions. The first teaching hospital in recorded history, the Academy of Gondishapur, operated in Persia from the 6th century CE, with wards, medical training, and clinical research. Persian scholars translated and preserved Greek texts during Europe's Dark Ages, and then transmitted them back to Europe, making the Renaissance possible. The civilization that invented the windmill gave mathematics its language and kept ancient knowledge alive while Europe burned libraries. It's 3,000 years old. And it currently has F-35s and carrier strike groups pointed at it. And here's fact 5, the number that puts everything in scale. And it is the one nobody in the news is saying clearly enough. Iran has 86 million people. 86 million. That is larger than Germany, larger than France, larger than the United Kingdom. It is the 17th most populous country on Earth. When a country of 86 million people goes to war, even asymmetrically, even without aircraft carriers, the consequences for the region, for global energy markets, and for global stability are not small, contained, or quick. There is no version of this conflict that ends cleanly in weeks. The math alone makes that impossible. 86 million people, 3,000 years of civilization, the world's 4th largest proven oil reserves. a sophisticated missile and drone program, and a government that has been preparing for this moment for 40 years. That is what the world is at war with. Now you know. 5 facts, all verified, all ignored by the headlines. History doesn't give you an opinion on who is right in this war, but it does give you the full picture. And the full picture always matters. Which of these 5 facts shocked you most? Drop it in the comments. I reply to every single one. Subscribe for the next video in this series. I'm Olayamaka. This is Frenzyfacts.